Alongside me for this one, Surrey Storm Director of Netball, Mickey Austin. Mickey, interesting Uganda selection for this one.
Yeah, it is. It's a different lineup to the one that we saw compete yesterday. Really, really interesting to see that combination of Proskovia and Oyela. Oyela providing lots and lots of goals and contribution towards the scoring sheet for Uganda yesterday. So we're looking for her to go well again today. Then we see the lineup for Scotland, unchanged team when they competed on day 2 of this Netball World Cup. Mulheron and Nicol providing lots of defensive issues for plenty of attacking lineups, and they're going to have to work together consistently across this 60 minutes if they want to stop the scoring machine of Peace Proskovia.
And Claire Maxwell celebrates her 100th Test cap. Scotland have won the toss. They will take the centre pass. Scotland coming into this with a win over Samoa on day 1, 53-35. Lost to England in their second match, 70 goals to 34. Uganda lost to England in their opener and then beat Samoa crucially in their second game. There is Claire Maxwell, 100 tests. What a moment for the Strathclyde Sirens and Scotland captain.
Yeah, brilliant moment for Claire. She is such a competitor. She has been one of the stalwarts of Scottish netball for a really long time now. She's fierce, she's ferocious, she's skillful, she's strong. So congratulations to her, and I'm sure she'll be wrapped for this next 60 minutes.
The match officials, the on-court umpires, Gary Burgess and Angela Armstrong-Rush. The reserve umpire is Gareth Fowler.
And as we await the match ball to be delivered,
The ball carrier for this match.
it's worth noting that the goals both of these two teams scored against England very similar. 34 for Scotland, 32 for Uganda. 6th v 7th in the world. Looking for seedings in stage 2. This should be very even indeed.
Yeah, it absolutely should. And Gal Parata, head coach of Scotland, made a point of saying in her pre-match interview yesterday before they faced England that she had targeted this game as a must-win game for her team. So they actually said that their World Cup starts right now.
Nicola McCleary feeding into Lindsay Gallagher. 36 from 41 ahead of this game at this tournament so far.
Yeah, and watch for that skill of Lindsay Gallagher over the next 60 minutes. She's really smart, super clever, and you saw there her just using her body to shield the space and let that ball roll as close to the goal as possible.
Bit of contact from the Scotland goalkeeper Hayley Mulheron. So Uganda with the centre pass. You might notice a dot next to their name on the bottom of left of screen there. That signifies who's got the centre pass. Obviously crucial in this game to win turnovers.
There's contact, Wayne.
Some real patient play from the Scottish side. Nice and early, willing to craft the ball, swing it back to the line, open up the space on the opposite side of the circle and play a little cheeky 1-2 between Maxwell and Gallagher inside the circle. Really safe, measured netball currently.
Manage break. Manage contact, Wayne. Contact wing
So
in the
Peace Proskovia
defense.
got the opening goal for Uganda.
Hold time.
They all spent 4 seasons at the Loughborough Lightning before heading out to play in the Super Netball in Australia. And here's the goal attack. Stella Oyela, what a tournament she's had. A sending off and a player of the match so far.
You literally couldn't script it, could you? She's had a roller coaster ride, to say the very least. But, you know, Uganda have been really, really smart about transferring her out of that mid-court position into that goal attack position. I think she ended the game yesterday sitting on 100% and contributing really big numbers for the She Cranes. So looking forward to seeing her today.
Here's the captain, Maxwell. Scotland moving the ball quickly up the court. Bounce pass into Gallagher. That's Beth Goodwin, in fact, and she nails her first attempt on goal.
Yeah, she does. She'll be feeling confident from that. It was a lovely ball placement inside the circle from Gallagher, finding her shooter nice and safely. And the easier you catch the ball as a shooter, the less likely you are to be stressed when it comes to the shooting.
Manage offside wing defense.
Sent in by Ruth Meme.
Obstruction, goalkeeper.
Into Oyela. And there she goes again.
Some really smart play from Uganda as well. You saw unselfishly the mid-quarters swinging the ball all the way across that circle to open the angle for their shooters and find nice clean body away from the defenders, just like that swing there across the top from Scotland.
contact, goal defence, leg. Set, step forward, goal defence.
Goodwin just lays it off to Gallagher. She just bounces it off the front of the rim and into the net.
Trickled in that one.
Advantage break.
Willing it to go in as it leaves your hands as a goal attack. Been there, done that, and it's very, very stressful.
We said it'd be tight. It's proving so early on. Loose pass, though, from Praskovia. That's the break that Scotland were looking for.
Yeah, she claps her hands together. The idea was right, opening the angle to swing the ball across the circle, putting lots of length on that pass, but unfortunately just execution letting her down there, and Scotland fly through the middle of the court as quickly as you like.
That is contact, centre.
Nickel into the captain, Maxwell. Good win again from mid-range, and she rattles that one home as well. Fine shot.
All four shooters currently sitting on 100% at the moment, so it's very much just a game of chicken. Which team is going to be the first to crumble? Which team is going to be the first to fail on that execution?
That turnover, though, and Scotland converting, have the 2-goal lead. 4 minutes gone in this opening quarter.
Advantage obstruction, wing defence.
Goal third.
Ruth Meme pulling down the ball here. Betty Kizza in the centre position for Uganda. The She Cranes, of course, as they're known. Meme goes to the far side and flicks it into Oyella.
Yeah, the Scotland defenders as a 4-unit are creating all sorts of problems for this Uganda attack at the moment, working tirelessly as a unit, all 4 of them trying to put that pressure on all the way outside the circle. You see Hayley Mulhern fly on that ball outside, hoping for a replay call from umpire Gary Burgess, but him having absolutely none of it.
Good position from Praskovia, Meme into Oyella once more. Oyella just 5'8" for a goal attack. So versatile, isn't she?
Yeah, she is, and that's such an asset and a really important factor to consider for these coaches when they come to selecting their squad. You know, which of my players can run out more than one position? How many options can they give me? If they give me multiple, then more likely they are to be selected in the squad.
Quick hands again. You noticed just before Scotland bring up the ball, McCleary, Maxwell and Boyle, just quick touches, quick release. Asking questions of this Ugandan defence.
Obstruction.
Maxwell over the top to Goodwin. And that's Maxwell it's Goodwin who's called for the contact, so Uganda have possession.
And we see our first big contest for the day. Unfortunately, Ugandan defence, Mwanga just could not bring that ball out, had no options. She's tapping her chest saying, sorry, that was my bad. That'll be something that they'll be looking to improve upon.
Yeah, you lose possession, you want to fight to win it back. Straight away, they did just that, and Gallagher, the vice-captain, finishes. Physical out there.
Yeah, and I mean, that's just the story of this World Cup, really, isn't it? Physicality, skill.
Boyle brilliantly keeps it in play.
Putting your body on the line for the colours that you're currently wearing, that's so, so important. Look at the want here. I think she just tripped over her own feet.
Goodwin, rims out. Uganda come away with it, but look at this full court press from Scotland. Looking to try and turn this over once again. Nickel with the contact there.
Yeah, that's so characteristic of the Scotland side. You know, we see it in their UK Super League for the Strathclyde Sirens. As soon as they lose possession of the ball, they put on this high court press, which means all 6 attackers, defenders, doesn't matter. Everyone basically, apart from Hayley Mulhern, is pushing up the court to try and turn over the ball as early as possible.
Praskovia, no problem from that kind of range. Yeah, 11 of the Scotland 12, of course, playing the Super League for the Sirens. So you talk about combinations. No team knows each other as well as the Scotland side.
Yeah, exactly. And hey, look, that's probably the thinking behind it. You know, the development when it comes to what they're doing in their UK Super League. Can that lead into and have a massive impact in what they do on a world stage? And I think Claire Nelson, the CEO of the Scotland international team, as well as the Scottish Sirens, has been really, really key in their development over the last 18-month process.
Good passage of play this for Uganda. They went down 2 goals. Opportunity here to go up by 2.
We see once again the Scottish mid-court, Claire Maxwell, who else than on her 100th cap, putting that pressure on so early and high, running hard and flat on the ball. But just a miscommunication in that attack end.
Yeah, McCleary and Goodwin just not on the same hymn sheet there.
This is a really key moment in the game and another big collision. All's fair in love and war. Claire Maxwell just trying to get some clarity from umpire Angela Armstrong-Lush there, who's on the opposite side to us.
Yeah, Angela Armstrong and Gary Burgess, the umpires for this one, two vastly experienced officials.
It's as if they've done that on purpose because they know there's a lot riding on this game.
Certainly is. High stakes at the Netball World Cup in Group D. Both of these teams looking good for the second stage, but it's where you finish that counts as Proskovia muscles up under the goal and she converts.
Yeah, just have a look the next time the ball comes down this end at the work the Scottish defence are doing as a foursome, really trying to sit in a square and force the Uganda's attackers around the sidelines and out of the middle of the court. Uganda are going to have to get some penetration in the middle of the court if they want to make sure their route to goal is a lot more unpressurised.
With the goal takers, with the goal take.
So Gallagher bounce it back to the captain Maxwell. They're trying a little closer here.
Go round, ladies.
An obstruction call from Namfuka there, trying her best to get round the body of Lindsay Gallagher, but she knows exactly how to position her course. Super, super strong and compact as an athlete.
5 from 5 for Gallagher, 100% so far.
Great goal defence.
Yeah, and I mean, I think she's firmly cemented that goal attack position for me. Only question mark really will be over that goal shooter position. Yesterday in Scotland's game versus England, we saw the inclusion of Emma Barry, who's one of the youngest athletes in this competition at the ripe old age of 17, and by all accounts stood her own against some world-class defenders in Jiva Mentor. So will Gal Parata be looking to her bench and an injection of her today?
Yeah, she's a real talent, Emma Barry. Goal's good, 9-8. 5 to go in the opening quarter.
Little bit of luck there. The ball actually nutmegged Bethan Goodwin and went all the way through, but who else than Lindsay Gallagher, who had her body across the defender, and that ended up just landing straight in her hands, but the end result is the same.
Well, we've seen some mismatches at this Netball World Cup. I'll tell you what, this isn't one of them. 9-8 in the final 5 minutes of the first quarter. Proskovia puts Uganda 2 goals clear, and here comes Scotland. Gallagher launching herself out of the circle and into a fellow shooter, Goodwin. Gallagher gets good position, followed a pass. She's got the hot hand.
Yeah, and Vincent Kiwanuka at half-time or quarter-time is probably going to want to give some instruction to his Uganda defence. Namfuka, for me, has got to pick up her work rate on Lindsay Gallagher. She's able to pass and cut and go from one side of the circle to the other, all the way through the baseline, and goal attacks at this level should absolutely not be doing that with an easy ride.
Ball pass over the top from Kizza to Meme into Oyela. 11-9. Huge noise inside the M&S Bank Arena in Liverpool. The England Roses over on court 1 enjoying their time against Samoa, and here on court 2 it's another home nation, Scotland, just missing a shot that time.
First miss of the game for Lindsay Gallagher there, and you see once again this full court press put on from the Scottish Thistles. There's 1, 2, 3, 5 defenders working absolutely overtime to keep this ball as far away from the goal circle as possible, and against a team that have got an absolute target underneath the ring, just like Peace Proskovia, this work is critical.
This is off the Scotland centre pass, so Uganda looking to go 3 clear for the first time in the match. Oyela drains it.
Yeah, pivotal point of the match here for Scotland. That was their centre pass, which means in netball we alternate centre passes. Uganda get the opportunity to score again, and Scotland are going to want to stay in touch and distance here. With one defender out of play, that is almost an impossible task, and Peace Proskovia nets her 5th goal of the game, still sitting on 100%.
Really good finish to the first quarter from Uganda. 4 clear now. And they've got another turnover. Here they come.
Yeah, that was the right idea from Bethan Goodwin, but that ball to Nicola McCleary needed to go so much earlier if it was going to be available. She just held on to it too long, and that's absolutely not what the Ugandan she cranes are doing at the other end, letting the ball go first, second, swinging the ball with length across the circle, and they're able to find their shooter with ease.
Yeah, Proskovia and Betty Kitts at the centre. Here she is with the centre pass. With a good connection so far. Ugandan fans making noise in the stands here on court 2. Oyella pops in another. 6 clear Uganda inside the final 2 minutes of quarter 1.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with Kizza as well in that centre position for Uganda. This is her first start of the competition. We usually don't see her getting that opportunity. So for me, she's doing a really good job at just filling space, working around Proskovia and Oyella, letting them take and do the majority of the work.
Contact centre hold.
And just as I'm bigging her up, she's there trying to do everything she can, slightly outside the rules of the game.
Maxwell tumbling there like a sack of potatoes over the back line.
Goalkeeper. Contact.
Important moment this for Scotland. Gallagher needs to convert this opportunity. She lays it off to...
Come forward. That's it.
No, she will shoot it herself. Yeah, good finish.
Yeah, she took a big breath before she scored that one and takes a look up at the gigantic scoreboard that is above our heads in this commentary position. She knew exactly how pivotal it was to score that goal. And you see her once again tussling on that defence. Unlucky there from Nicol not to come out of that interception.
And just 2 passes off the centre pass into Proskovia, right under the goal. Out to 6 clear again. Final 30 seconds.
Centre, that's a deliberate obstruction with the intent to cause delay. It's a caution, bring it up.
Some really clear instruction from New Zealand umpire Angela Armstrong-Lush there. You saw her say that's a caution for intentional obstruction. So in netball we have this rule that means you cannot be within 3 foot of an opposing player if they have the ball. And if you're deemed to intentionally obstruct, and it's probably because the clock's winding down, so Uganda are trying to be a little bit sneaky at delaying that goal. Umpire all over it. Nope, you're going to get a caution straight away.
Gallagher with her 9th goal of the quarter. As the seconds count down, 1 final centre pass for Uganda. They'll have to hurry up and they'll run out of time. So Scotland get the final goal of the quarter, but it's Uganda who will head to the sideline, head to the seats. 5 goals clear after the opening quarter. It was tight, we knew it would. 6 v 7th in the world. This one's going to go all the way. We'll take a break. Stay with us for quarter 2 on the other side. And a change for Scotland to start this second quarter. Young Emma Barry, 17 years of age, 6'4". She has replaced Beth Goodwin in the goal shoot position.
Yeah, and that's really smart coaching identification from Gal Parata, head coach of Scotland there. She's identified that they need to keep up with the pace of the scoring from Uganda. You know, we spoke about it a second ago. Uganda, when they have the ball, they seem to just be finding a really easy route to goal, clean passage. So I think we're putting on the 6th tallest player in the competition in Emma Barry. Scotland are trying to match them and play them at their own game.
Yeah, big moment for her, big game, high stakes. Into Gallagher, the goal attack. She shot 9 from 10 in the opening quarter. There is goal number 10 for her.
Yeah, picks up exactly where she left off, being that playmaker in that attack end for Scotland.
Proskovia across the Betty Kissa into Stella Oyella. She converts her first attempt of the second quarter.
Yeah, she cranes are playing with such width across the court, and that is the most deadly thing you could ever play with. And just as we say that, Claire Maxwell and a miscommunication in possession for the Scottish team.
Yeah, it was Kelly Boyle who went the other way. Maxwell thought she was heading left, she headed right.
Yeah, well, Kelly Boyle is actually a wing attack is where we most commonly see her. So for her, transitioning into that defensive role is going to be a little bit of an important one for her. Working really hard on the body of Meme at the moment.
Chance here for the She Cranes to go 7 goals clear for the first time in the game. Over the top to Proskovia, one-handed. Geez, they're getting bumped about in there, aren't they, in the goal circle?
Yeah, and this is why it's so difficult when you're playing against a team with a tall shooter in the back there. You cannot wait until the ball's on the circle edge before you try and win the ball back. You have to be willing to do the work a lot higher, round the third line. You know, we saw there a passage of play from Uganda where they had 2 or 3 lateral balls. Those are the ones that the Scottish defenders are going to need to play out on. They need to turn possession over earlier.
So here's Gallagher.
Contact goal defence.
Contact on Barry, so Gallagher can step forward.
Saw Emma Barry just almost collapse underneath herself there, making sure that umpire Gary Burgess saw every single little bit of that contact.
The way you sell it, Mickey.
Leave the ball straight back.
Yeah, and we hear some really clear instructions from umpire Gary Burgess there, saying to both the shooter and the goalkeeper to leave the ball alone, just get the ball straight back to the centre pass.
Stella Oyella launching herself into the goal circle.
She's such a handful for some teams as soon as she's moved into that goal attack position. I think that's where we'll probably see her play out the rest of this competition. She's absolutely deadly. She's got pace to burn, the engine of a centre. We know that she can run all day, as we saw in that first game.
Emma Barry's first attempt on goal. Just a little short. Scotland will keep possession.
Yeah, that's pretty lucky there. It was an obstruction call on the court, but because Emma Barry took it quite quickly, the umpire deems that it's taken, so she doesn't actually get the ball back. That was a great setup there from the Scottish attack. You saw Emma Barry screen off the defender on her back, wait for Lindsay Gallagher to draw around the front so that she can take the ball nice and simply, and a great first shot for her there.
And that will give the teenager huge confidence. Turnover Scotland.
Yeah, great pressure from Nicola McCleary in that wing attack position. Just goes to show you, just because you're an attacker does not mean that you don't do your work on defence as well. That was great team defence from Scotland.
Maxwell, 100th Test match. Just a 1-2 with Boyle. Across to McCleary. Gallagher with a little fake left and the move right. Into Barry, that was nicely done.
That was a great roll-off there from Emma Barry, and I cannot tell you how important that was, because both mid-quarter for the Scottish Thistles were almost touching distance on the edge of that circle. Fantastic for her to see that backspace and expose it.
She's the only uncapped player in this Scotland squad at this Netball World Cup.
Yeah, and by all accounts is going to be an absolute star of the future. She is only 17, and this is really her first exposure of high pressurised netball. So, I mean, what an opportunity for her. I'm sure her parents are very, very proud.
Absolutely, as Gallagher scores another one. Yeah, she even matched up with the great Jeeva Mentor against the Roses, and that's no mean feat doing that.
No, and by all accounts, she absolutely held her own and did some absolute fabulous stuff. Unlucky team defence there from Scotland. That was such a good switch. You saw them isolate Oyella in that goal attack position outside. The dropping Hayley Mulhern to the front, just got a fingertip to it, but not enough to take it away from the hands of Peace Proskovia.
Proskovia, so strong. Maxwell into McCleary, over to Barry. That's good position, just keeps her feet. Nicely shot too.
Yeah, you see both Scotland shooters there split the circle, one offering front position to the right, one offering back position and to the left. So mid-quarters are spoilt for choice, and obviously they would choose the one that's closest to the post.
So for the difference, he was in danger of going out to 7 at one point. So Scotland have done well, but Uganda have possession.
Contact goal defence.
Yella just got her hands taken away, but Emily Nicol.
Unlucky. See, there's a lot to be said for being disciplined in this game of netball. Sometimes a little bit of ill discipline can mean you actually give an advantage to the other team. We saw Emily Nicol there move off of her penalty position too early, which means even though Uganda missed and Scotland got the rebound, they got the ball back. So Gal Parata will be on at her defenders to stay in the game, stay disciplined, play the long game. There's still 30 minutes of this game left.
And when you've got Peace Proskovia shooting 100%, or Yella at 93, you've got to be so careful not to give them any easy looks.
Just like that miscommunication in the Scottish attack end, Lindsay Gallagher wanting to feed the backspace of Emma Barry, but Emma Barry had 2 defenders on her and didn't have her eyes to ball, unfortunately.
Or Yella all the way out to the centre circle.
These Scottish defenders are doing absolutely everything they can. Look, we see Hayley Mulhern here hunting all the way out. She actually goes offside into the centre third, just causing a little bit of contact, but that's the right idea.
They call that a falcon in Australia.
Isn't that what you get hit in the face?
Off the noggin?
Yeah. God, no one likes that on camera. Makes your eyes water, you know.
Uganda playing heads up netball right now. Praskovia bounces off the one leg and doesn't have the base, but look at the rebound.
That was just far too easy from a Uganda perspective. They got first face, second face, the centre to the circle edge, sorry, absolutely undefended. And when you're one-on-one with Peace Praskovia inside that circle, it's almost an impossible task to get the ball off her.
24-17. Uganda leads Scotland in the second quarter of this Group D match. Both these teams looking good to go through to the second stage. You take your points with you and who you play in the preliminary stage. So really important that Scotland stay in touch here, and Barry from mid-range. That's a lovely piece of work.
Yeah, for me, the Scottish team have got to sight their shooter a lot earlier than they are at the moment. Emma Barry is on and available. She's got her hand up in the air, she wants the ball. So when she's inside that circle and she's one-on-one, her mid-court have got to turn and look for her, have that trust and confidence to feed her the ball before there's two defenders inside that circle, like we see the Scottish defence doing to Uganda right now.
Emma in tandem with Oyella over the top to Praskovia. This is the first one, but she's just so good on the follow. It's number 10. She's got 3 academic degrees, including an MA from Loughborough University, Peace Praskovia. International netball star, what a woman.
Oh, she is, and she is honestly such a delight. She just exudes joy. She understands how lucky she feels to get the opportunity to play this sport. And I spoke to her at the candle lighting ceremony, and she described netball as her anchor. And what a lovely phrase that is.
Absolutely, and she had a bit of a hamstring niggle, you were saying before, centre pass, Mickey, as well. So she's moving pretty well at the moment.
Yeah, she is, and Emma Barry getting her feet all in a tangle there in between both Uganda defenders, which means that she's not in rebound position on that occasion.
Gallagher misses one from a very gettable position. Kitsa at centre. Ruth Meme. Loose pass over the top of Praskovia that time, so Oyella and Praskovia just have a little chat after that one.
Yeah, much better work and positioning from Hayley Mulheron, the Scottish goalkeeper. So lucky that Claire Maxwell was alert to get on the end of that loose ball. She pushed Peace Praskovia all the way to the edge of the circle, position all the way behind her. And unlucky she just can't keep the ball in play at the other end. It's moments like that that the Scottish team are going to have to capitalise on to bring themselves back into this game.
Emma Barry staying alert at the offensive end and gets her reward.
Yeah, there's absolutely nothing better than an attacker getting an I next to her name. That I stands for interception. She will be absolutely thrilled with that. You see the bench in the background, hands in the air, lots of claps.
Yeah, she'll be bragging about that one back at the team hotel tonight.
I would.
Kitsa, long pass over the top.
Oh, fantastic roll-off from Peace Praskovia there. Took a defender to the edge of the circle, turned on a sixpence as quick as you like, and drove nice and hard to the post. That was fantastic play.
Gallagher into Barry. Namuwaya. The guilty party there, so Scotland will have a chance to inbound the ball. Referee, umpire, I should say, Gary Burgess, just calls time off.
He answers to many things, he won't mind.
McCleary. Maxwell scoops it back into Gallagher.
That swing across the top of the circle is so deadly. McCleary being unselfish, catches the ball deep in the pocket, sights her other mid-quarter in Claire Maxwell right at the top of the circle. And look at the contest going on between Emma Barry. Oh, unfortunately, Nanfuka there just winning the tussle, managing to disrupt play enough that the ball goes off out of Scottish hands.
Contact called on Claire Maxwell there. Kizza. Ruth Meme. Nanfuka, little bounce pass. The yellow has it.
Stretching all defence, sorry ladies.
That battle between Praskovia and Mulheron under the goal is physical, and Stella Oyella steps in, and there's another one for Uganda.
currently sitting on 94% at 16 out of 17, only missed 1 goal so far, so really producing lots of high shooting opportunities for Uganda, and that's so important as a goal attack when you play out in front of a tall shooter.
Stella Oyella there just swivelling on a landing foot there. But Scotland have it. McCleary, Boyle. Gallagher way out of the circle.
Hold time. See, bib off here. There's one off here as well. Okay, all
Just
on.
checking the
No,
bibs
it's
here.
open play. On the whistle.
Very important that the umpires know what position the players play, of course, so they don't
Offside.
call
wing
the
attack.
offside when required.
Yeah, from a health and safety
Offside
perspective as
on
well,
the
for the safety of
transfer
the
in the
players, you
goal
can't
third.
have loose bibs on the floor,
Yep.
just in case they slip. Same thing with sweat or perspiration, water of any
centre.
kind. There's ball girls with towels
Centre.
underneath their seats that you'll see run on really quickly and do a grand job at wiping the floor.
Saw Gary Burgess take a tumble yesterday.
It's the best gif on Twitter. If you haven't seen it, you need to find it. It's great.
Barry bangs in another.
A big shot there from Emma Barry, probably right on the cusp of her shooting range, so she'll feel very, very confident after that.
McCleary at wing attack. Across to Gallagher. Here she is again into Barry. She's getting double teamed in there, the young 17-year-old.
Yeah, she is. That cheeky no-look pass there from Lindsay Gallagher, trying to sight her shooter, as we spoke about a second ago, nice and early. On that occasion, though, the She Crane defenders were all over it, both of them willing to drop back onto Emma Barry because they understand how much of a threat she is.
7 from 9 now, 78%.
Vantage break. Wing
That is
attack.
contact, goal
Shook off an early miss, and she's in a good rhythm, Emma Barry. Here come Uganda, though. 6 clear, 90 seconds to go in the half. Stella Oyella
Contact arm.
just keeps doing what she's been doing all game.
She just quietly goes about her business, doesn't she? Just chipping away at that scoreline, popping up right in front of her mid-quarters just when you need it most.
Incorrect playing the ball. Free pass.
Gary Burgess all over that. So if you have your hands on the ball as a netball player, somebody else has to touch it before you can touch it again. And unfortunately, Claire Maxwell on that occasion released the ball, trying to find her teammate, didn't, and then picked up the loose pass. So Gary Burgess all over that incorrect playing of the ball there.
So you can't pass yourself effectively.
Basically, yeah, you can't toss the ball up to yourself and catch it again.
McCleary. Gallagher again playing high, having to pass backwards to Boyle.
Scotland really lacking some penetration going towards their circle edge. Much better from Nicola McCleary there, but on that occasion, Lindsay Gallagher misses her, doesn't give her the ball and tries to force it into Emma Barry. I understand you've got a tall shooter.
Contact centre.
And this is on the Scotland centre pass, of course, so Uganda.
That's your only chance, centre. Set it, please.
7 clear. 20 seconds to go. Can they
Contact, goal
shift the ball up court quickly? Meme.
That is contact.
Oyella. Back to Meme. Into Praskovia.
Contact keeper.
Final 10 seconds.
Take a step back, come forward, goalkeeper. Forward with her. With her.
Time almost out here. Oyella needs to hurry. Just in time. Stella Oyella. I'm not sure she was aware of where the seconds were on the clock there, but she has been very impressive in the opening half. Uganda, as a team, have been impressive. 8 clear of Scotland. They lead them at half-time by 29 goals to 21. Uganda with the centre pass, but it's Scotland ball.
Yeah, new player onto the court in Rachel Nanyonga, straight away into the action, and the first thing, she's pulled up for a footwork call, so she'll be looking to get her hands on the ball again to try and win the ball back for her team.
So good break for Scotland early on in the third quarter, trying to close an 8-goal deficit here.
Hold time. Goal defence, that's an intentional contact with the leg. That's a caution.
So that's
Next to
another
her.
caution. We've seen a couple of those already. Betty Kitzer, who's moved from the centre position to wing defence.
Obstruction keeper. Take it.
And Barry makes the most of it.
Yeah, we see goal defence and Buka there get a caution for intentional contact with the leg. So nice, clear instruction from the umpire to give the players an opportunity to adjust their behaviour. As we know with netball in terms of the sanction system, the first option is that you get a caution. If you continue to persist with the same infringement, then that gets escalated to a warning, escalated again to potentially being removed from the court for 2 minutes, as we saw on day one, and then eventually, if you keep persisting, then you do get removed from the court entirely, and your team has to see out the game with 6 players.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happened with Stella Oyella against the Roses. Here she is. It's her 20th goal of the contest. Maxwell. Gallagher gives it back to her skipper. They swing it to the other side through McCleary. Goal defence again called for the contact.
Yeah, that's new player on the court in Agio, so she's literally just come into the action, 2 minutes in, already got a caution and drawing the eye of the umpire again. So currently 4 changes across the board for Uganda.
Yeah, you'll see bottom of the screen there. There are the starting 7 for Uganda in this third quarter.
In the middle.
Bitzer and Meme swapping bibs. Nanyonga on a wing attack.
Advantage contact.
Oyella with another one for Uganda.
Much better transition play there from the Scottish team. You saw them land the first pass of the centre pass, turn quickly, sight drive in mid-court to hit the edge of the circle, and then able to feed one-on-one into Emma Barry. You see them slap their hands together. They was really, really pumped with that one, and they're going to need to do more of that in this quarter if they want to draw this scoreline back.
Barry, right place, right time. Ball actually went over the sideline. Maxwell will inbound the ball. Emma Barry coming into this game more and more. Her connection with Gallagher working well.
Yeah, and we hear the Scottish Thistles crowd getting right behind their team now that they've scored 2 in a row with the opportunity to take it to 3. That ball from Lindsay Gallagher just rolling into the net, and she has produced lots of good numbers for her team as we see bodies on the line all over the court.
That was on the Scotland centre pass, so Uganda will look to try and make something of this turnover. Nanyonga over to Meme. Trying to bounce the ball into Oyella, onto the leg of Maxwell. The contact called, so Oyella steps forward, leans in, and has number 22.
Really hard skill to do as well when you're a little bit off balance, you know, on one leg, but that's such a trademark of this Ugandan team in particular and African nations. You know, they're so strong, they're so robust, they have the ability and the confidence, to be honest, to step in on one leg and back themselves to score.
Here is Lillian Agio, goal deep, passing it into Nanyonga. Oyella to Proskovia, her first opportunity of the quarter.
And in the back of screen there behind the Scotland bench, you can see Ella Gibbons standing with a bib on, warming up. So potentially going to see a little bit of a change in this Scottish defensive end really early on in this third quarter.
Well, they've got to try something, haven't they? Because Oyella and Proskovia
Keeper obstruction.
are dominating that circle at the moment as Gallagher sends an important goal down for Scotland.
Yeah, they do, and Ella Gibbons, who is currently standing behind the bench for the goal defence bib on, is a whopping 6'3", 191 centimetres, almost as tall as Emma Barry at the other end, so it probably to try and match up that height between her and Peace Proskovia.
Yeah, she competed for Scotland in the high jump, no surprise.
That is a great fact. I didn't know that, and I know Ella.
Off you last, Senna. This side of me, please.
Found it on the Strathclyde Sirens website.
That explains why she can jump so high then, doesn't it?
I'm not sure we'll see the Crosby flop today, though, as Oyella throws it across court to her centre, gets the ball back. Gee, she's just doing everything on point with such clarity at the moment, Stella Oyella.
Yeah, for me, she is the absolute problem that Scotland just cannot handle at the moment. So yeah, they're working tirelessly on defence. She produces in terms of her accuracy of passing around that circle edge, and she can finish off underneath the goalpost as well.
Hold time. Injury goal defence.
So it's an injury to Nicol.
Goal defence.
So here does come Ella Gibbons.
Yeah, clearly that was planned for a little bit of time now. But as we know in netball, there are no timeouts unless somebody calls an injury. So you can't just call a timeout and have some time to take a substitute, nothing like that. Unfortunately, it's one of those things that everybody knows happen, but you have to say to the umpire, umpire, can I have time? I've got an injury. And they say, what's your injury? And you just point to a body part, and then you can come off the court.
Okay. So injury in inverted commas to Emily Nicol.
Contact centre.
Ella Gibbons out there. Uganda 34-27. 7-goal advantage into Oyella again.
Contact goal defence.
Gibbons with her first assignment. She tried to put the big right hand up high, but Oyella just rainbows it over the top.
In the goal square.
Yeah, and just confirmation of those changes coming across your screen now. As we see the ball in Ella Gibbons' hands. Scotland with a chance to attack.
Goal third.
Betty Kitsap taps that one over the sideline. Couldn't quite get the intercept. Here's Gallagher.
Goal defence.
Goal defence.
Keeper side.
Called again. Aggio. Almost every time the ball goes up court, Aggio's being called for contact. Barry. Emma Barry. Shooting almost 85% in this match.
Break, goal attack.
Yeah, an important goal for Scotland. They're currently leading this quarter score 7-6. And as we alluded to at half-time, they're going to have to make a push in this quarter to chip away at that scoreline if they want to make an impact in this game.
Well, it's like what they call moving day at a golf tournament, isn't it? Third quarter, so crucial. So often decides the outcome of the contest.
Yeah, absolutely. We refer to it as your championship quarter. You know, one of those that is either going to go one or two ways. You've had about 10 to 12 minutes of instruction from your coaches at half-time, and it's your job as players out there with a bib on your chest to digest that information and apply it in the game.
Barry again. Dribbles it in. Takes a breath. Young 17-year-old getting it done for the Scottish Thistles.
Unlucky from Hayley Mulheron, coming all the way outside that circle, looking to hunt on the ball and win it nice and high off of Uganda. You know, again, she understands the importance of this passage of play. The scoreline's currently at 6, teetering around 6 and 7. That's 3 turnovers in a game of netball, which is absolutely nothing. So if they have to stay mentally tough in this moment to know that they can grind this win out.
Uganda out to 36, playing 29 for Scotland. Barry out of the circle to Maxwell. McCleary comes leaping through with the double foot plants. Over the top to Barry. Well done, Emma.
Fantastic passage of play there from Emma Barry, pulling all of her skills out of her toolkit there. Saw her driving out of the circle, showing her speed. Look at that roll-off. Fantastic footwork for someone that tall and young. She's bent over in the back of screen, hands on her hips. She's feeling the intensity of this game.
Praskovia to Nanyonga, back to Oyella. Into piece.
Goalkeeper obstruction.
Praskovia, and she will very calmly add another one for Uganda.
She's just so great, isn't she? Look at her looking up at the scoreboard above us, just checking that she's doing her job, going about her business, keeping this scoreline at about 7 goals for her team.
McCleary
That is contact. Goal defence.
sent in by Maxwell to Barry.
Goal defence. Contact.
Aggio really drawing the eye of the umpire since she's come on in this quarter. Again, being called for contact. And we spoke about it before, your discipline in that defensive end or all over the court is so important. Those little niggly things you've got to try and cut out to get you out of the eye of the umpire. If you want to win a game of netball, all 7 players need to be in play for as long as possible.
Uganda, a country of 42.8 million people in East Africa. Scotland, just a 5.4 million. Praskovia losing the handle.
Yeah, and the Scottish bench
Causing contact.
Are looking for a really big push here. You can see them clapping in the back of your shot a second ago when Peace Proskovia fumbled that ball off the baseline. And you can hear the crowd making a little bit of noise because I think court 1 is finished.
Yeah, if you're wondering what all the noise is, the Roses have just won their 3rd game of the Netball World Cup. They've beaten Samoa by 90 goals to 24, and that is their 9th highest score ever at a Netball World Cup. So this place inside here at the M&S Bank Arena is going absolutely nuts. Meanwhile, Scotland are trying to concentrate. And Emma Barry keeps the focus and drains one for the Thistles.
If she is not one of the emerging stars of this competition, she has been outstanding for me. And I think she is very, very slowly gaining a little bit of ground on that starting goal shooter bib for Scotland.
Stretching goal defence.
Number 16 in just her 3rd test match. She came here as an uncapped player. You talk about breakthroughs, we're seeing one right here.
Yeah, I literally can't talk about how much she has impressed me enough. But you know, that's credit to the whole Scottish system. That's what it's about, bringing you through, having the trust in players to put them on a world stage and understand that they can cope with the pressure. You know, this may be her first Netball World Cup cap, but I'm sure she's been competing for Scotland for a really long time behind the scenes. So credit to Gail and the work that they've probably been doing for a few months now.
Goal defence obstruction.
Scotland have been on a good run, but that takes it back out to 5. Peace Proskovia knowing they have this buffer, Uganda, if they can cut down the turnovers, and they almost come up with an intercept.
Goal attack.
Stella Oyella playing very high indeed.
You see Nicola McCleary put her hand up in the back of play. Claire Maxwell was tearing towards the circle edge, completely undefended, but there was just no trust to let the ball go. And I think Scotland in there want to try and claw this scoreline back of just being a little bit guilty of holding onto the ball for too long.
They're leading the quarter 12-9. Just rims out from Barry, looks for the rebound, but steps out of court.
Yeah, so unlucky, but the intensity is great. And look, the ball's dribbled all the way down court. And I know that might seem insignificant, but look at all of the Scottish team right now, putting on that team defence. There's 6 of them trying to compact that middle third, keeping them out of the middle of the court and looking to turn the ball over as early as they can.
Oh, this is Gal Palata all over, isn't it? Making her defensive work on the full court.
On head there from Claire Maxwell. She really felt like she'd won that ball cleanly.
And Uganda throw it away. Agio with a loose pass.
Yeah, and hands up from Gail Parata and Lindsay on the bench, assistant coach. They understand this moment and are willing their team to make smart decisions out there on the court to get that ball through the net.
Final 2 minutes of the 3rd quarter. Scotland staging a good comeback here, winning the quarter 12-9, but Uganda have possession.
Yeah, we spoke about it a second ago. You've got to have that trust in your teammates. Nicola McCleary on the circle edge, top of the D, which is the prime feeding spot if you are a mid-quarter. And she looked away, and Emma Barry was completely free under the post, and then in turn they lose possession of the ball. They have to keep trusting each other.
26 from 27 for Stella Oyella. She's been in the 90s
Vantage break, we're goal defence.
throughout this game. And here they come again with the centre pass. Bounce pass to Proskovia, knocked away by Hayley Mulheron.
Great work from Hayley Mulheron there, and look, consummate professional. She wants the time to be held to get a little bit of a break.
Came off Proskovia, didn't it?
Yeah, great spot from umpire Gary Burgess there. And this is a little bit of gamesmanship you'll see here. Look, Hayley Mulheron, she's been around the game for a really long time. One of the highest capped players for Scotland. She's played overseas. She's represented out in New Zealand as well and tried to play her trade over there. So she wanted just everybody to take a breath. Take a breath, ladies. We're leading this quarter by 2. We're clawing the scoreline back, but not if we give the ball away by looking laterally across court like that.
That's the commentator's curse if I've ever heard one. Mickey?
I'm just going to stop talking.
Contact, goal keeper. Yeah. Goal defence, contact.
30 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Uganda up to 40, 7 clear again.
But But if there is ever a positive, I'm trying to look for the positive in this situation, ever the optimist. If there's ever a positive about that happening, that was all on the Uganda centre pass. So yes, it was an opportunity missed for Scotland, but it was on the Uganda centre pass, so they now get possession again. And saying that, I'm just going to stop. Every time I speak and try and big Scotland up, something happens somewhere across the court.
Just a couple of seconds left in this third quarter. Oyella will need to shoot quickly. Proskovia has it. Acrobatic.
Contact, wing attack, advantage.
I would have got out of my chair had she have managed to score that.
Well, what a pulsating third quarter we have just seen. Scotland win it 12 points to 11, but on the overall scoreboard it is still Uganda who have the lead, 40 goals to 33. Another 15 minutes left in this crucial match from Group D. Uganda with the advantage, but Scotland showing they're up for the fight. Changes for Uganda. Mary Chollock from the Loughborough Lightning is out there. And she's playing alongside Peace Proskovia in the front circle.
Yeah, she is. We also see an inclusion in that centre position. Stella Oyella is wearing the centre bib, so expect some fireworks between her and Claire Maxwell in this last quarter.
Stella Oyella, what can't she do? She shot 27 from 28 in the first three quarters. She was player of the match in the previous game as big 6'7" Mary Chollock is sent tumbling by Hayley Mulheron.
Forward keeper with me.
These two, of course, know each other from the Vitality Super League. Chollock with the Lightning, Mulheron with the Sirens.
One change for Scotland as well in that wing defence position. Boyle gets a well-earned rest and heads to the Scottish bench. Nichols comes back on at wing defence. We saw her earlier at that goal defence position.
Gallagher to the captain Maxwell, playing 100 tests for the Scottish Thistles today. Gallagher not happy with the tussle after the shot there. I think that's what you call dagger eyes.
I would call it something else, but I'm not sure I can say.
Chollock. Nicol comes flying into Nanyonga.
Know where you are.
Chollock puts it up, but just a little too heavy. Proskovia, as we've seen so many times in this match, gets it on the putback.
Yeah, she is, and Chalhock disappointed with herself in the back of play. Yeah, she's giving her hands a little bit of a shake-out, clearly feeling the nerves. And coming on in the fourth quarter is hard, you know.
Stella Oyella playing a bit of football there. I mentioned she was versatile.
Well, she's done loads of things across this World Cup, so why not add football to her repertoire as well?
She has had an interesting few days as Stella Oyella, as Emma Barry came off the bench for Scotland, just misses her first attempt of this fourth quarter, and it's Uganda possession.
Hold time.
There are bodies all over this court, and Gary Burgess trying to take a handle on this game and telling Lindsay Gallagher very clearly, goal attack, be quiet. So in netball, you are not allowed to descend to the umpire in any way, shape or form, whether that's be through a look, through a gesture or through words. Very, very well controlled are these umpires across this tournament.
Quite right too. Ella Gibbons, 6'3", defending Chollock.
You could just see in the back of play there, Stella Oyella saying to Rachel Nanyonga, calm down, nothing cross-court, look for each other, play the safe option. So even though the scoreboard looks the way it does at the moment, Uganda still understand that they are in a game here, and at any point in time, the Scottish Thistles could pull this lead back.
Chollock over the top to Proskovia. Not used to playing together, these two. Pretty much straight out goal shooters, the both of them, but Mary Chollock showing some good movement there.
They are, but they are both so athletic. Take away their height, and you know what we've seen across international netball as a whole in the past 18 months is gone are the days of traditional netball. You know, we see the inclusion of goal attacks like Gretel Tippett for the Aussie side, who is absolutely changing the face of that goal attack position, and we see that with these Ugandan shooting pair. You know, both of them are over 6 foot, but so athletic, can move, can run, can turn, and bring that basketball element to the game as well. So fantastic to see.
Outside the circle, please. Set it, Scotland, on the whistle.
McCleary. We'll look for Barry coming over the back. With Stella Nanfuka with a big slap
One
down.
step, that's it, goal attack.
Almost volleyball style-esque is that. And then Pangu, who is in that wing defence position, just come on for Uganda, already gets her caution for her
Bounces out
troubles.
for Barry. But Gallagher's there to follow up. Important finish.
She is locked in, isn't she? Look at that look on her face, determination.
Nanyonga.
Contact with defence.
Oh, Yella has the free pass from the contact.
Stretching all defence outside. Come forward, centre. Ladies, step back.
Look at Hayley Mulheron just
That's it.
constantly leaping around, moving around Praskovia, but she forgot about Mary Chollet, who has her first goal of the match.
Yeah, nice, easy settler there for Mary. She'll be happy she got that one on the board. And a footwork call for Nicol in that wing defence position, gifting possession back to the Ugandan She Cranes.
Mary Chollet was discovered at the World University Championship. She netted the winner to beat South Africa in the final of that tournament. Here she is again. Tell you what, with a hairdo like that, you've got to play well, and she's found her rhythm.
Yeah, she's clearly a crowd favourite as well, excuse me, because the fans are going wild every single time she gets the opportunity to score.
That is causing an offside centre. Yes.
Here is she again. Chollet pops it in. Yeah, she's feeling it now.
Spanish contact, goal defence.
Good first phase, second phase penetration there to the edge of the circle from Scotland, but struggling to find their shooters, so they have to reset it all the way back to that third line.
Obstruction goal defence in the circle.
So Gallagher would look to feed a fellow shooter. Barry does so. Barry for mid-range, just a little short.
See a little bit of afters there between Lindsay Gallagher, giving some sledging, shall we say, to use a cricket term.
Yeah, it's Aggio and Gallagher, isn't it? They're at each other, no doubt about it. But Gallagher has the last laugh there.
Really great zone defensive pressure here from the Scottish side. That's probably Gal Parata's influence, bringing that New Zealand flair.
Praskovia almost out of court, flings it up. Gibbons for Nicol, back to Gibbons, but intercepted. And Nyonga.
Massive puff of the cheeks from Nichols there. She knows how lucky she was to get away with that. And Hawkeye umpire Burgess seeing that toe go out of court.
Spanish contact, advantage offside wing defence.
And there's Stella Ayala now in the centre position, coming up with the intercept. So they get it back, Uganda. Chollet. Mulheron just fighting for every inch.
See Nicola McCleary in the back of your screen telling Emma Barry to hold strong. New goalkeeper Nanyonga in that position, causing all sorts of problems with the physicality.
Chollet will inbound the ball.
Causing contact outside.
Maxwell called for contact.
Held ball.
3 seconds.
Yeah, we have this rule in netball, which means you only have 3 seconds to to catch, scan your option, and get rid of the ball. And if you deem to be going over that time frame, then the umpire will call you for a held ball.
Nice movement from Emma Barry in the circle. And a clever finish.
Yeah, and we see a change for the Scottish side.
Yeah,
It's a really interesting call, actually. We see Emma Barry come... Oh, excuse me, we see Kelly Boyle come onto the court in that wing attack position. She's been starting as a wing defence for Scotland the whole way through this competition, but as we said earlier, wing attack is her more familiar position. She's small in height at 5'4", but absolutely rapid and deadly on a change of direction. So excited to see what she brings into the pressure cooker that is this fourth quarter.
Barry out to the top of the circle. Here is Boyle at wing attack.
Goalkeeper, you're causing contact.
Gallagher hits the floor again. And then Fuka.
She does not look like she's enjoying herself out there, does Lindsay Gallagher?
Yeah, she just runs it off, slightly gingerly, walks away from the circle. She's back into it.
Yeah, well, Uganda leading this quarter score 7-5 at the moment, so really showing their pedigree to push on in the scoreline.
Pruskovia, number 18, shooting at about 70-75% in this match. Not as high as we sometimes see from Pruskovia, but at 48-38 overall, Uganda just need to keep that distance on the scoreboard, and they might see this home.
See, this is interesting. You see Claire Maxwell shaking her head there. So netball is deemed to be a non-contact sport, and that is a bit of a myth, shall we say, as you're finding out very quickly through the passage of this game. It is, however, very contested, and what some sneaky players do sometimes is put their hand on your hip and spin you, so they turn you off of the line of the ball, and Claire Maxwell definitely trying to signal to the umpire that that is what Stella Oyella did to her on that last passage of play.
Obstruction, wing defence.
And look at Nicol and Nanyonga here. Bumping the hips.
So much body-on-body contest across this whole court, and
Maxwell
definitely between that partnership there of Stella Oyella and Claire Maxwell.
Two centres going at it, back into Chollock. Mary Chollock, there's number 4.
Contact, Uganda centre.
Oh, Yella drops the shoulder, sends Maxwell flying, and Scotland get the call.
Yeah, she does. Umpire Angela Lush all over that attacking contact there. Great spot. You saw Oyella drop the shoulder and push off with her forearm. And once again are these two centres going at it.
This is a highlights reel in itself. Maxwell against Oyella. Price of admission alone. Ball into Barry, just short, but she follows a shot. Ten goals the difference. 4 minutes to go. Can Scotland pull off an unlikely comeback here? They're fighting for every moment.
Straight up centre.
That was Nampungu. Intervening into Barry.
Fantastic vision from Claire Maxwell. That is why she is absolutely world class. Under the pressure of the game, she turns fully from the sideline throw-in to sight her shooter and catches the Ugandan defence off guard.
20 goals now for Emma Barry. There's Oyella. Chollock. This is fierce on the edge of the circle. Look at Oyella and Maxwell. You couldn't put a cigarette paper between them all match.
Doing absolutely everything they can to try and gain an advantage for their team. And you would expect nothing less than Claire Maxwell in her 100th cap.
Boyle over the top to Maxwell. Looks to give it back to Boyle. Boyle had made the cut.
Yeah, so that's a difficult one there. You heard the umpire say advantage centre obstruction on the edge of the circle. So what he's saying is, I've seen that she's within that 3-foot distance, but I don't want to hold play. And arguably, is that an advantage? Because you're on the edge of the circle and she's skewing your vision. So it's that really fine line, isn't it, between officials and players who are just trying to grow the game as best they can, but keep the flow of the game going.
Contact.
Barry withstands the contact. and wills another one in for Scotland.
Great finish there from Emma Barry. Beautiful shooting technique, as clean as you like. Hand on the follow through, and it goes straight through the middle of that net. Look at the defensive zone that Scotland are putting on now. Not man-on-man marking, but they cannot let the ball land in the middle of it. That's exactly how you break a zone.
And at 6'7", Mary Chollock will have that for breakfast.
Wild, isn't it? That tall, but has that athletic ability to run, move, land with ball, turn, step in on one foot, and things slightly unravelling here for Lindsay Gallagher.
Maxwell leaps high, can't come up with the intercept, and they need them. It's out to 10 again. This is on the Scotland centre pass. You'll see the dot against SCO at the bottom of the screen.
Oyella and Nonyanga are just playing give and goes between them as long as they like. And they play one pass too many, and there's a footwork call.
Good break for Scotland, over to Barry. Emma Barry just composes herself and scores an important goal, and a bit of contact after the shot. There is no love lost out there between these two.
I'll be so sad when this game finishes. I feel like I've played every moment with them. It is literally edge of your seat stuff. It definitely does not feel like there is almost double figures between these two teams.
Praskovia. "30 seconds to go. Uganda with a 10-goal lead. They're going to get there. Chollock with the layup. Mary Chollock finishes with the flair.
Oh, but it's a no-goal call. So unfortunately, you can only shoot if both of your feet are inside the shooting circle. And her leap is so big that she was actually outside the shooting circle when she did that layup.
Emma Barry converts another goal to complete an excellent performance from her. A little more orthodox than Mary Chollock at the other end.
Love it, absolutely love it. Isn't that what the game's about?
Time's up. Uganda have the win. All smiles for Mary Chollock.
Thank you.
Uganda 52-43 over Scotland. They will go through as the second best team out of Group D. So 52-43. What a game of netball, Mickey Austin.
Yeah, it was fast, it was frenetic, it had absolutely everything. Skill, athleticism to burn, and of course, some contact inside there as well.
That was without doubt, the fiercest game we've seen in terms of the physical stuff here at the Netball World Cup so far. But all come together at the end. Sportsmanship, sportswomanship on show here in Liverpool. Both teams saluting their fans. Uganda, impressive performance from them. Scotland were here in their numbers as well. They've dropped the game, but they will go through to the next stage as one of the top three out of this group. There's confirmation of it. All teams have played 3 games. England 3 from 3. They beat Samoa 90-24 a little earlier, and Uganda with the 2 wins on 4 points. They go through as the second seeds out of Group D. Worth noting that Jamaica, South Africa, and either Trinidad and Tobago or Fiji await England, Uganda, and Scotland in the second stage. Okay, let's have a look at the match highlights. And as you said, Mickey, it was physical from start to finish. Scotland, good comeback in the third quarter, but did they just leave themselves with too much to do? Yeah,
It was a bit of that, and I think Uganda just showed their class ultimately after the end of full time. They won 3 out of the 4 quarters, and although Lindsay Gallagher of Scotland did everything she can, only missing 2 goals, the full game ending on 90%, and Emma Barry, what an emerging start of this competition she is going to turn out to be. A little bit low on her percentage at 76%, 79%, but she showed well, she presented well, she absolutely showed her athleticism by rolling off the back, coming out of the circle at times, brought all of the tricks out of her bag.
And what confidence will that give her and Scotland going forward in this tournament?
Oh yeah, of course. Look, you know, Scotland showed up at times of this game. They won that third quarter 12-11, and as we say, like, even though the scoreline was as it was, it definitely didn't feel that way on court. We saw the Ugandans absolutely riding to the absolute last minute of this game because they knew that Scotland were there or thereabouts. So Scottish netball can take a lot of confidence from players emerging like Emma Barry. You know, she's 17 years of age. What a start and an opportunity it is for her to get this exposure at an early age.
Stella Ayala here, playing at goal attack, ended the game at centre. What a game she had. What an opening 3 days to the Netball World Cup she's had.
Yeah, she was the absolute standout player without question for me today. She run that Ugandan attack end. She was happy on the ball. She looked like she had so much time, was never bothered or fazed about any defensive pressure that was in front of her. You saw her pulling the strings, sending the ball cross circle, being able to pass and front cut her way. She ended on lovely shooting stats as well. 27 out of 28 goals in that goal attack position. For me, she's not a centre. I wouldn't put her in that centre position. She gets too caught up in the body. She is deadly in that goal attack position, so look for her to compete there for the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, Stella was the star. 52-43. It finished 60 shots to 52. Percentage pretty similar, but the intercepts for Uganda forcing the turnovers on Scotland, and the rebounding ability of Peace Praskovia also contributing to that Ugandan win. Okay, let's get some reaction now. We'll start with the Scotland head coach, Gail Parata. She's with Gail.
Thanks very much, Rupert. Wow, that was quite a contest, wasn't it? Does a 9-goal defeat really tell the story?
Not really. I'm really proud of them today. I mean, last time we played this team, we lost by 20. We've just taken on number 6 in the world and lost by 9. I mean, we're building, and we saw our young players out there on court today. I'm really proud of them.
A word on your shooter. We had a glimpse of her yesterday. Emma Barry, you've got a superstar in the making, haven't you? 17 years old, her third test, and she looks born to play international netball, doesn't she?
She is. She's very talented, and the best thing about her is she's very fast, a fast learner, and everything we put out to her, she's putting into her game. So, yeah, really proud of how she came on to court today and helped us to try and fight back.
She must be pushing for a start, Gail, surely.
Oh, yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see how we go, but she did a good job today.
And just finally, what do you take to the next stage? I mean, you must be full of confidence after a performance like that.
Well, definitely confident, but, still really disappointed because this was a targeted match for us to make the top 8. And so we're disappointed that, to do that now, we have to beat Trinidad and Tobago tomorrow and also Jamaica or South Africa. And, it's going to be a hard task. So, we'll keep fighting to see where we go, but I'm absolutely proud of the girls today.
Thanks very much. We will see you in the next stage.
Yeah, despite the defeat, Gail Parata finding the positives in that game. Here are the results so far from Court 2. Malawi had a good win over Barbados first up early this morning, and as we've just seen, Uganda getting the result against Scotland. In the afternoon session, Northern Ireland go up against Zimbabwe. And then Gail Parata mentioned she's likely to play Trinidad and Tobago in the second stage, but who knows? Fiji might have something to say about that. Okay, the player of the match is with Gail.
Thanks very much, Rupert. Well, Stella, for the second day in a row, you are player of the match, but not at centre this time. As goal attack, talk us through your performance today and playing alongside Peace Praskovia.
It was a great time. It was our win. Really, we needed that win because, wow, it was fantastic. So I had to go in to play my game and to rescue the team because I know people were there talking, you know what, Stella, you can't make it. Myself, I put confidence in myself and I know I'm good to go with my team. I'm there to rescue my team.
Surely we're going to see you at goal attack for the rest of the tournament when you play like that, Stella.
I'll be changing positions. I'll be playing center and goal attack because all the positions I can play. At the beginning, it wasn't good for me, but I tried my level best. I maintained it and it was good.
And just finally, 2 wins from 3. You must take a huge amount of confidence now to the latter stages of this competition. You can really challenge some of these teams in your half of the draw, can't you?
I beg your pardon again?
You can really go on now and challenge some of the big teams in this part of the draw, can't you, with that confidence and those performances behind you?
Yeah, with that confidence and the team have my support, I'll do the best.
Well played today, Stella. Congratulations.
Thank you, dear. Nice to meet you.
Outstanding performance from Stella Oyella. Here's confirmation again of Group D, how it finished after the first stage. England with a goal difference of 134. They got 90 against Samoa in their final match. They'll be joined by Uganda and Scotland in the second stage. Samoa will play for 13th place. Okay, let's get some reaction now from the Uganda camp. The assistant coach is with Gail.
Well, Nelson, that was quite a fascinating and very physical test match. What do you think got you and your team over the line in the end?
Yeah, we prepared for that game. Yeah, there was a lot of physicality, but we prepared for that game. Scotland is a good team as well, but we managed to take that day because we really wanted it.
And Stella Oyella was player of the match. We saw her at centre today. How was that performance, though, at goal attack? She was very impressive, wasn't she?
Yeah, Stella is a goal attack. She can play goal attack and GS, and we have started training her play centre. That's why she played centre so well. The two positions she can manage.
And just finally, where do you feel this team can go from here? We know you're in the second stage. Come on, tell us, where do you think you might finish, Nelson?
Confusing question. Of course, this is a tournament, and the higher you go, the difficult it becomes. But if we qualify from this stage to another stage, it means things are getting tougher, but we are ready for the challenge as well.
Well played today, Nelson. We'll see you in the latter stages.